I always used to hit up that big head mode when I was playing NBA Jam back in the day, and also putting in all those passwords so you could play as Fresh Prince, the mascots. Those were good times. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. But right now, we are going to talk about this new Vince Staples EP called Prima Donna. Now, Vince Staples released his album Summertime '06 last year, and it was critically acclaimed by a lot of people because he had a very unique sound, some ominous and eerie vibes, and he was also doing some great storytelling on that one as well. Now, it didn't make my top 10 list, but I did think it was pretty dope, and I actually prefer his Hell Can Wait EP just a little bit. Not by too much, but I think it was a really solid EP, and I still come back to some of the tracks on there, including Screen Door, because that one is just an all-out banger. But when it comes to this EP right here, I do think it's a nice addition to his discography, although it's not one of my favorite projects. And I'm going to start off by talking about some of the things I didn't like here before I get into the positives, and there are some more positives with this one, so definitely make sure you bear with me. First of all, I thought this one started off a little bit rough with Vince just croaking on the intro. This little light of light, I'm gonna shine. I mess it up, but he's croaking. It doesn't sound that good. You're going to hear that croaking on the end of some of these other songs, and it just doesn't really add much to the project. I skipped it every time it came on, but I guess he was going for a little bit of theme there because he sounds very depressed and just down in the dumps, so I guess that was something he just wanted to add into the project. But for me, it didn't do a whole lot, so I didn't need to have that on there. And the other thing I didn't care for much was Kilo Kish's feature on the song Loco. Now, I like pretty much everything else about this song. It has this skitsy beat and also some great rapping from Vince. He's just on his crippin' shit, and he's saying that, you know what, he's been thugging since flip phones, and that's a long ass time to be thugging, because that's back in the day when people not only had flip phones, but also those thick ass Nokia phones that you could damn near beat someone to death with, and you know, you could chuck them into a goddamn gravel pit and they wouldn't get a scratch. No damage would be done. That shit was hard as hell. You could kill somebody with one of those. But I like that shit. He's on his thugging shit on that song and also on a couple of other songs. But what I didn't like about Loco, like I said, was Kilo Kish's whispery vocals throughout. And there's also this breakdown where we get another woman talking in Spanish. So there's just too much happening with this track. It's not a track I can really enjoy from start to finish, but the beat and the verses are nice. So it's not like it's an awful track or my least favorite. And aside from her, the only other feature you're going to get is A$AP Rocky on the title track. But if you're hoping he has a verse, you might be disappointed because all he does on this is a little bridge. Although this is another nice song. I like the beat, has that grimy feel to it, and you're getting some more great flows from Vince Staples, who in general is a great rapper if you ask me. I like how he sounds. He's got some good bars all over this one, and he does try out a couple of different styles and sounds, including on that second verse of Big Time, where he reminded me a little bit of Danny Brown because he had his voice just pitched up and going kind of crazy like Danny's sound. So that was an interesting choice, and I did like the production on that as well. It was very different, very unique, had some thick bass on it as well. So Vince is known for making use of different production styles, at least as far as I know, because I know whenever I check one of his projects, there's always some interesting shit going on from people like DJ Dahi, No ID, etc. And DJ Dahi comes through on this one with a track called Smile, and it's rockin' Few. So that was a really cool choice. And here we have Vince just rapping about some of the shit he's put up with in the industry. Like, he knows some people are kind of plotting against him. They'd rather see him in the ghetto than as a black businessman. And he's also learned that money cannot heal his soul. So he is bringing some interesting content here and touching on some shit that he's gone through and just some of the things that he thinks about, including on War Ready, which starts off with an Andre 3000 sample. And Vince goes into detail about the power of words and how the word nigger was used to demean Africans and put them in a position where they were basically less than human beings. And even today, we're seeing some of the shit that's going on with racism. Not going to get into all the political shit, which I seem to be doing in some of my reviews once in a while because the world is just crazy, but I like how he brought that up. It was interesting, something to think about for sure, and I like that Vince is really showing his MC skills throughout this project, man. He's a dope rapper. I like his production choices as well. On Pimp Hand, we get this beat that kind of sounds like some Neptune shit, except dipped in filth and grime. It's just like Neptune's on some more hard type of shit, and on this one it's cool because he's talking about how the OGs are trying to put him up on game, but shit has changed so much that the game isn't the same, so that's not always going to work. That was a cool idea to think about because old heads you can definitely learn from. They can teach you some things, but you can see how easily things change over time, not just technology, but the rap game, culture, etc. So that was a cool thing to think about, man. I really like that he brought some cool content on here, that unique production. Those were definitely some of the better moments on this one, but overall this wasn't a great EP to me that I think I'm going to be coming back to a lot. There weren't a lot of songs that blew me away, and like I mentioned with Loco, there are some skippable moments on some of these tracks that I didn't overly enjoy, but I still think this is is a dope EP. I give it a 3 out of 5. A 3 is a good score. Don't complain about it. I know some people think a 3 is bad, but 3 is still above average, just not 3.5, which to me is more of a great album and something I'm going to come back to for more tracks. So I do think this is worth checking out. If you're a diehard Vince Staples fan, you might like it more than me, but I like that he's experimenting with unique production because that's what it's all about. A lot of the time EPs are used to sort of test the waters and experiment with different sounds to see what you're going to do on your next project, and I'm always looking forward to hearing more from Vince. So check this one out for yourself. Let me know in the comments sections what you think, and please make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially gotta subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.